So I just saw I Know What You Did Last Summer. I am a huge fan of this franchise. I have seen I Know What You Did Last Summer. I still know what you did last summer. I'll always know what you did last summer, which I think was a straight to DVD movie, but I enjoyed that one. A few months ago, a coworker told me about this series that was on Amazon Prime. I Know What You Did Last Summer, so I watched that. That was okay for this generation because they catered to social media and how kids are nowadays, posting everything online and having mukbang content. This one girl, she was doing mukbangs and she weighed like 82 pounds. But I didn't too much care for that one. And there was a lot of sex in that one. I hate when there is sex scenes in a show or movie. I don't need to feel like I'm watching a softcore porno. Porn is still free, okay? So if I want to watch two people screw each other, I'll go on a site. If you're not familiar with the franchise, the premise of I Know What You Did Last Summer basically is these teenagers who are about to graduate high school. They're at a party. They're finna go to college. So they're driving home one night on 4th of July and they end up hitting this fisherman. They're afraid of possibly going to jail, so they dump his body at sea. Little do they know that he's still alive. And a year goes by. They all feel guilty. Everyone's depressed and unhappy, riddled with guilt. A year goes by. A few days before the 4th, they start getting creepy and anonymous notes and murders start to happen. And then on the 4th, the killer exacts his revenge and tries to kill them all. That's the premise of it. And I'll always know what you did last summer. Context was the same, but how it was executed was different. These kids do a prank, the prank goes wrong, someone gets killed, and then the legend of the fisherman comes to life and the ghost comes after them. I like that one more because he's a ghost in that one. But yes, I'm a big fan of this franchise. So how did the 2025 remake do? So once again, you have friends and they're driving. These friends in this particular situation are going to go see some fireworks. The character named Teddy, who is played by Tyreek Withers, is a fuckboy. They stop they stop on the side of the road to watch the fireworks. Teddy's in the street. A car's coming. He's like, yeah, I'll take this car on. Come on, motherfucker. Yeah, he's all hyped up and he was on weed. And I'm thinking he got drunk off screen. But this dude was high. And Milo, played by Jonah Hayer King, he pushes, he gets Teddy out of the way. Keeps Teddy from killing himself. But then another driver comes. They're still on the road. He swerves and he's about to fall off the road. He's hanging and everyone is trying to get him out. He falls. They panic, thinking that they're going to go to jail. Teddy actually calls the police, but they don't stay. Danica, played by Madeline Klein, she doesn't want to tell anyone, and they all make a pact in not telling anybody. I thought that if they had stayed, they probably would not have gone to jail. Yes, there was some weed and alcohol, but they stopped on the side of the road, so they weren't really driving or anything, so I think that would have played in their favor. Teddy was just being a dumb fuck. But yeah, so that's how this movie starts out. It's different. It's executed different. The killing starts immediately. The fisherman goes after the side characters and the protagonist. So he doesn't wait till the 4th of July. The reveal is different. The reveal takes a surprising twist. Well, there are two reveals. The first reveal didn't make sense. But then once the second reveal happened, then it was like, oh, okay, now that makes a little sense. But it's a nice surprise. It's a nice, shocking surprise. And now when I go back and watch the originals and look at that character, I'll look at him different. So it's different from that aspect. It feels like kind of really gets to the point really quickly. The characters in this movie are not depressed and riddled with guilt, and they're not, I mean, they feel guilty, but they're not letting it dictate their lives. They're not letting it affect them. They're still hanging around each other, and Madeline, spoiled ass, is still having parties. So everyone looks like they didn't kill anybody by accident. Ava Brooks, played by Chase Sui Wonders and Danica Richards, I thought they were good. I thought the males, Milo and Teddy, I thought Milo was bland and boring, and Teddy was just an obnoxious fuckhead. I think they were the eye candy for the ladies. I think they were just for the eye candy. There were a few times where they had their shirts off, and I'm sure the ladies, mainly the white girls, I think a lot of white women saw this movie, probably went, "Oh my god, it's so hot, he's got abs." But as far as the women go, I thought they had more of a personality. They show more emotion. Madeline's character in the beginning seemed unlikable because she was daddy's little rich girl and having these spoiled parties, and it seemed like she wasn't really humbled and kind of took life for granted. But as the movie goes on, it looks like she's transitioning into more of a person who understands that life is precious and can't take it for granted. She starts to come back down to earth, and it takes a psycho, well, two psychos and a slicker with a hook trying to kill her to realize that. When I saw the preview, I saw that Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. were going to be in this movie. And I was thinking, hold up. In the third one, they addressed the original movies and how the second one ended. The fisherman gets Julie. So you're thinking he killed her and then he eventually killed Ray. But that's not the case. I thought that they would explain that in the movie. How are they still alive? But the directors probably figured, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. It wasn't really a hit. It didn't really have any big name characters compared to that cast, compared to the original cast. I don't think it compares in star power. And as I mentioned, I think that was a straight to DVD movie, so they probably figured people didn't watch it, but still doesn't make sense to have that. Or they probably figured it was just filler. We're gonna send a message to the viewer, the audience, that that movie was just filler or special. Is not really part of the original storyline. Okay, so Julie and Ray are not in love anymore. They are bitter and pretty cold to one another. Ray doesn't even want to be around her, and Julie doesn't want to be around him. From the love aspect, it's not there between those two, the chemistry. But the nostalgia aspect was nice. You saw old photos of Helen and Barry. You saw the float that Helen was on in the first movie. One of the characters who has a murder podcast, who was fascinated by the story, she addressed it. They showed old newspaper articles. All in all, this movie was okay. I think it was okay. If you're someone who is not familiar with the franchise, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and this was your first time seeing it, you probably didn't like it. But for someone who has seen it and is familiar with it, you're probably going to enjoy it. I still recommend the originals. This is my favorite horror slasher film. I mean, I'm doing this recording the second day it came out, and by the time I get this out, it'll probably be tomorrow. I immediately saw this when it came out, and I was looking at reviews. It seems to have a mixed reaction, half and half. You got people on this side, the left, saying it sucked, and you got people on the right saying it was good. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's my take on I Know What You Did Last Summer. Please like and subscribe. That is it. I am out.